This is not a test. Repeat, this is not a test.
Going on is G talking and token, another episode here at Dead Walker Studio. I got my co-anchor, co-conspirator Amber with me,
Hey guys.
and tonight we have one of the coolest dudes I've known for a little while now. I want to say local legend, but he's more than that. So please, JR Beatbox is here with us. My man.
Pleasure. Thank you guys so much
Man.
for having me.
Thank you
Yo,
for
when
coming on.
When G reached out, he was like, "Hey man, you want to be on?" I was like, "Yeah, I got your back always, man.
Always
Be there for you. Just
420%.
Reach out to me whenever."
Now, he's more than just a pretty face, everyone. Do you mind telling telling the people out here, JR Beatbox, what's the story? Who are you? Where can we
JR
find you?
Beatbox is a professional entertainer, host, MC, vocal percussionist. Man, I was 16 years old when I came across beatboxing, and I didn't really know because I grew up in a very Latin family. My mother Puerto Rican, my father's Dominican. We were all raised. Like I was raised very small in New York. Moved down in Vegas, so the rhythm of beatboxing came, and it attached to my Latin heritage. A lot of my styles that I do throughout my career, that's because it was the culture that I was raised on. So yeah, JR Beatbox is a lot of different stages and elements. It's a lot to my life that many other people are probably going through. Me is my daughter, fatherhood, having the support, not having the support, the downs, the ups, and still balancing a dream of being a personal inspiration, or just somebody to give throughout the community of Vegas, or just hip hop in general. So yeah, man, I mean, where do we start?
I mean, thank you for sharing that, because that's a lot of the stuff I was thinking about. And then when we talked and you were willing to talk about that and share your life, that's what we're about, is just reaching out to people, because a lot of times people hear a story and they're like, I'm going through that. I went through that. I'm doing it now. I don't know how. And so I think to have different perspectives and different guests is really cool. And thank you for wanting to be here and share that, man.
Yeah.
It's a huge...
Thank you for having me as an element, man.
Hey,
Here.
and you've always had my back, that's for sure. I can go all the way back to culture and cannabis, for sure. You came through, but I first met you many, many moons before that, and had just moved back here from Utah, and there was a charity event, and the chef I used to work for, it was for kids. And you came, it was a restaurant, I want to say maybe off Rainbow, down by Buffalo. Long time ago. It's a different restaurant now. It was too many moons ago, too many joints ago. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It was that long. And I saw you there, and I was just like, Chef, who is this cat? And he explained who you were in a little bit. I just stalked you before there was even Instagram. I was like, who is this guy? I got to find out who he is.
Gee, I didn't know that.
Yeah, man, that's how I found you. And then you giving back to the kids like that. Chef was the same way. I'm the same way when I can, you know. I was just like, okay. And so, like I said, we just reached out. We stayed true to each other, I think, and uplifted each other. And, I mean, there's too many layers that we can start with, but
For real.
I think one, I've always wondered, beatboxing, of course, you explained a little bit, and your Latin mix got you into that. But is there a song, an artist? Is it maybe your mom, your dad that really kind of inspired you?
Yeah, school, 6th period class. I forgot what subject. I think it was history. This student not too far from my seat, he was making sound effects and noises at the time. I don't understand what it was, and then I overheard him beatbox, and I was like, "Yo, like, what is going on?" So I kind of introduced myself. I was being cool with this cat. He was like, "You know what?" And he kind of just showed me like a whole bunch of techniques, and then he gave me my very first CD of Rozelle, The Roots, Wu-Tang. Like, and these are beatbox elemented, like they incorporated beatboxing in these live ciphers and tracked it as like all types of like underground hip hop. So man, my mind blew Oh my gosh. When I tell you, as a kid, you just absorb so much because you're highly interested in that one thing. So you indulge yourself in that one thing. And that's what I did. I indulged myself into beatboxing, and
At
then
first.
and I had those little 6 tracks that the cat in my subject in school, my class had given me. He just burned me a 6 track at the time. We were getting music off of LimeWire and all kinds of stuff. Like, man. So I could always think back at the times where I was just practicing and self-teaching myself, because now everybody can go online on YouTube or any other social media platform on their pages and get all these techniques, but we didn't have access to that. I didn't. The only access I had was a reference CD of 6 tracks, and then my mom treated me to a computer, which I think the first thing I downloaded was like Limelight. I was like, I want all the music. And then there was a beatboxing website called thehumanbeatbox.com or something like that. And I was like, I looked it up, and it was a thread full of just beatboxes from around the world. And they will upload music, and they will share these, like, hey, did you hear Rozel's new thing? And that's all. If your mother only knew, the talking and the beatboxing at the same time. It was very iconic for me
Yeah.
to come across that. And then I have this whole thread on this website of just like, oh wow, I could really. And but the thing is, it was a catch. I had all the time during summer, so I will wait at least 8 hours for all these tracks to download, because all we had was dial up.
Yep. I remember.
It took forever, man.
And the more you try to
it took
download, the
forever.
slower.
It's slower. So you have to, like, I'll do 3 at a time.
You have to know your limit, or you're crashing that.
You learn.
Oh my gosh. Now, man, now we have access to so much, and I love it. I think as I've aged through my career, I got really good at using the tools in front of us. So I incorporated beatboxing and MPCing and beatboxing using tracks, and me going along with it. Then I was like, you know what? I want to learn how the art of DJing, because we mix in our brains as we release the sounds, you know, and similar as DJs, they mix, they blend, they learn how to like understand and feel the crowd like us beatboxers. So I want to learn DJing.
Yeah.
You know, I started dabbling in it and reaching out to the DJ community, and iconic underground DJs are giving me lessons and tips and tricks, and I'm taking that and then I'm transforming it into something creative with beatboxing. So I was like, man, I didn't have any of that. I think I was, and I'm referring to just like technology and how advanced beatboxing has been, and then you have toys to play with. You know, I could make anything out of any type of noise or sound or anything through a piece of a machine. Yeah, I didn't have that, and it felt good. Like it's like one of those moments where like we are on stage and we don't have that. What do you have? Just the beatboxing.
Yep.
You know. So yeah, man.
Very
Natural. It's organic, just the way we like it.
Yeah. So you mix, but you also tell a story through self-expression. You know, so it takes a lot. It takes a lot of like, okay, figuring things out to really get your point across, because you want to let them know beatboxing is cool, but you also want to be an entertainer. You know, like my objective on social media is just to entertain. Like I love to be creative using different elements with beatboxing. Gives people kind of like, oh wow, I didn't know that can be done. And then also for higher ups in the corporate industry or gigging world, they love the versatility. They love the like, oh wow, he's a package.
Yeah.
So I've learned how to be very, very social media driven when and intentional when I do post.
But that doesn't come overnight. That doesn't come right. You have to put in the work into it, right?
Yeah, I mean, we got to put into the work with ourselves first, and then everything that's exterior and on the outside, it's like it's maintaining, it's taking risks. It's, you know, we may even feel like we're taking a risk on ourselves, and it's all kinds of emotions that people go through when they're developing a talent or a type of skill set, you know. And I think as I'm really thinking back at those moments and chapters, like I was going through like being an individual, like a 19-year-old. Like I was just fresh out of high school, going into college, and I loved music. But we had to work to pay the bills because mom is, and mom's pops is not doing so well at the moment. Provide is a lot. So little moments and chapters in my life molded me for 2 or 3 decades to who I am today. And I always like story tell with my daughter because I think it's very beautiful that we share as much as we can about the history and experiences.
I agree.
One, because we don't know when our day is gonna come, and then two is like you're leaving information and memories, and you're embedding these experiences into another generation. So if my kid were to have kids, and I'm, like it's just like so I go into depth when I think. I'm a Pisces. I'm a really analytical thinker. I'm very creative, but I do overthink, and it goes down the tunnel of options or like what can happen or scenarios. So yeah, man.
I'm the same way, especially with my mom. She says the same stories over, so I got those burned in. I know those ones, but there's other things I don't know. I'll write it down. I'll write questions before I leave the house. Hey, do you mind answering? Just because I want to, if anything, anytime I gotta, tell the future, the next gen stories, keep them related.
I came across a few good reels on Instagram, where they are like 8 things you should say to your mom before it's too late. And then they give some great suggestions, and I was like, so I hit my mom with that like not too long ago. I was like, Mom, how was it when you had me? Like when I was first born, what was going through your mind? And then she'll tell you like these crazy like times and the chapters and how it was a lot. I was like, dang, okay. Well, if there's one thing you can, like remember before it, and she was like, huh. And I started understanding these little questions. Like, it's very important for us to like do things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely. For me, YouTube helps. So I'm able to show my mom now, like what she thought was like a little village when she was a little girl, ends up now it's like a destination. They got 7 beaches. It's beautiful, like a little nightlife, like kickback spot. And she's like, I never knew. Like, how'd you even find this? And I'm just like, oh, the computer. Because if I got into what the internet is, so I just say the computer, and then we remember stories, So it's like she has dementia. So they say if you can show pictures, maybe play music, they start remembering little, and it's fun because she does, and it's like, oh, that's not the same story.
No,
I love that.
That's crazy. You say something about dementia, man. My father is diagnosed with dementia, and it's from his boxing career.
Ooh.
So my father was a professional boxer, and actually competed representing Dominican Republic in, I want to say, 83, 84 Olympics.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because shortly after they had me. But my father fought, and after the Olympics, all his title shots were here in Vegas. And back in the 80s, 90s,
Boxing was hot.
Sin City, boxing, Mike Tyson. Like my father was fighting alongside in weights, in weight classes with these guys, and I was like, my mom used to tell me like dinner stories, how they used to all gather around and just like hang out. And I was just a kid, so when we were children, we look up at the world like this.
Yeah.
Like, wow, everything's so big. And I didn't really think about how big my father was in the boxing industry until I started really being my own entity. And I was meeting people in the realm of boxing. And then when I were to share my father's name, it brings back so many, and they actually like, yo, well, you're so-and-so's son? Like, your father was a great fighter. Like, that man can box.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
It's crazy.
That's an awesome feeling.
Yeah, man.
Like, it just makes you more like proud. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but back to the point is that boxing career caught up to him. He's okay, but he says the same thing over. It's very hard to get out of the realm of the constant questions. He just says the same thing. So over time, I help tap into different areas so he can share stories.
That's dope.
And hence this is also a language barrier. My father's like completely Dominican, and second language is English, and mine was English, second language Spanish. So it was like this language barrier. I was like, Papi, I don't know a lot of things, But you know what? I will remember and I will record. So I started like
Yeah.
recording and telling these stories, and then I will put the pieces together.
Mm-hmm.
Like over time, over years. And it'll start coming like, oh, Golden Gloves. Oh, my mom. Oh, Showboat. Oh, okay. I remember. And then it goes into the, yeah, man. It's crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What?
My dad had dementia too, but it's tough. It gets tough.
He does, right?
But there was good things. Like my stepmom's an angel because she was with him. I wasn't there all the time. But I had saw him like it had been almost 30 days, and I came and he was like, "Oh," he called me Ambi. Ambi, I haven't seen you in like, did he say 20 or 30 years? I don't know what he said. I was like, what? And my stepmom was good about helping me understand like how quickly it affected him too. Yeah, so you can't take anything personal, but because he kept going on like he hadn't seen me, but then in a little bit it's back to a different, like, it's almost like he's going through different ages or something. I don't know, but there was good times, like my stepmom would say how she took him like to the grocery store, right? They always go the same way, and he's like, oh my gosh, we've never been this way. Wow, it's so beautiful. There's so many houses, and he lives outside Ivans, outside of St. George.
Okay.
So when he bought out there, that was in the 80s, and there was like barely any houses out there, and now Ivans is like just a suburb of St. George. It's so big. So when he was there first, there was nothing out there, and he lived his whole life in Jackson Hole, and then he retired and moved to St. George, and so it's like too, he would tell stories about all this stuff with snow, like it was happening, but
Yeah.
it's not. But yeah, it was tough.
I'm telling you. Yeah.
There's good times too, because you do get the stories, and there's good times too.
Yeah, so how that all plays into like creative mindsets, you find outlets to like tap into creatively. So through those stages of life and all that stuff, and learning a new craft and the beatboxing element, now it was time for me to like implement it and find who I was, and kind of like piece all the, like put all the pieces together, and really detach, because that was my little happy zone with all the stress and life, and you're trying to find a girlfriend, and you're trying to find that right laugh, like you're trying to find your laugh, your walk. Man, and let me not get into like trying to like have a name and then being a brand of that name, like photogenic, and like learn how to really present yourself. Yeah, it falls into all that.
It's a lot more than what people think. You can go on camera, but then as you progress, you learn lighting, how to sit, how to talk, how to breathe, especially in your line of work. It's breath control all day.
Yeah, man. I mean,
so
I think dang, yeah, I still think I'm young in the game. I mean,
and then in some point in your journey, you had a little girl, you have a daughter, so that's a challenge in itself as you're doing your own, trying to find your walk, like you said, your laugh, and then in some time in that, a little bundle of joy comes out. Now, that's a whole nother situation, right? It's a whole nother couple.
There, the stages of my daughter's life, and then what I was doing as I was still developing. I was going to college.
Okay.
And I was also a culinary cook at the age of 18 at the Stratosphere. So I'm a cook, a father, a beatboxer, and I was just like, and I had to make a decision in the long run, but I was in my mid-20s. Like, man, I had my daughter when I was 24, and then something in me just like clicked. It's like a parental's.
That's what they say.
Yep.
It's something that just turns on, and you in it or not. There's a lot of not guys out there, but I was in it, and I dedicated everything I did was like for the cause of what I can provide. So I would just push harder into my craft, push harder into my dreams, because I am a big dreamer. And shout out to all the realists out there, because if it weren't for you, I would not be grounded. Like
Huge.
My ex-girlfriend for 7+ years. Like at that time, like she was my ground because she was so too realistic. And I was like, dream a little bit, be a little optimistic,
try it.
But she was like, no, I need to know A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, A, and have security and da. And I'm over here risk taking and everything. but it all worked out. Fortunately, with any type of relationship, things can come to an end because of just mutual, like timing, circumstances, personal growth.
Of course.
All
That's
that, all
huge.
that plays in the mix. It never has to. Fortunately, I never had like a crazy like, man, I have a crazy ex girl. I'll never da da da. Da. No, no,
Thank
no.
goodness.
Thank God. Thank you.
You're
So-
one of the few out here because I got stories.
yeah,
I
man.
got
This
fucking
is
some
wild.
weird ass stories.
Yes,
It's
but-
hard because I'm a very emotional soul. I'm very like I love and I care, and I'm a protector, and I'm doing all these things because I want to provide more for the people who have been sacrificing so much of themselves
Mhm.
to tolerate like my goal-driven passion of just wanting. So it was like a lot of mixture of that too, man.
I think we're around the same age. I don't have no kids, and I think there's a reason. I don't know. It could be the stone in me. It could be just because I'm high, But I feel like I was supposed to take care of my two folks, and then I'm impatient. I'm fucking impatient, especially okay. And damn it, if you're telling
Come
me
on
the
now.
story like 10 times, like my mom, boo, and then okay, and then boo, and you're. At that 10th time, I'm like, okay, I get it. And then she feels bad because
Bad
she
because
forgot. And
she-
then I feel bad. But I was trying to learn this patience thing. And it took me forever now. But I feel like that was, and then focus you on something else, something progressive.
Mhm.
And that's like when you ask, like, how is this going? Like, well, everything kind of fell in, we always hung out. And then we hung out with him. And then he was like, hey, do you need help doing it? Piece after piece just fell in. And it focus and determination, discipline. I
Yeah.
think you provide that a lot, and you show that a lot to your daughter, coming down from your folks, and you keep it generational. I think that's inspiring.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I honestly, I can't wait till what life brings me. Like what else? I work hard on my fitness and my mind and my soul, and when not everybody understands how it goes with somebody that grew up obese and then wanting to like make a physical and a personal change. So growing up, I was always that individual who's like a little just chunky. I was like, and then I got into my obese phase. And then when I had my daughter, I was like, I want to get healthier. I want to be able to look the part, be the part, be able to provide and stay going as a well-oiled machine. That's a lot, man. Like personal health is very important.
It should be everybody's number one.
Yeah, I think if you're not whole, like how are you gonna be able to take care of anybody else?
Yeah.
Right.
And then shout out to Bean. He's our producer. He's the
Shout out
man
to
at
Bean.
Dead Walker Studios.
Thing.
I was in my own state of mind, and Bean knows it. I text Bean. Bean was a fucking brother to me, and he let me talk to him and just fucking vent in the time I needed it. And it might sound like a dick move, but like I think men only get 1 month, mental health month, like da 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 da. Women only get what. Every day should be a mental day. Like take care of yourself, or any time of the day, but take care of yourself. Whatever you feel you need to do. Some people need to exercise and clear the mind. Some people love to smoke and then relax, or whatever it is. But mental health is huge.
That's why it's always good to have the safe circles of people and energy around you. Mine's very small, but it's powerful. Yeah, I love it. I love having like my conversations every day with amazing people, and I'm okay. I could call them, like all the homies and stuff. I'm like, yo, we got to talk. Oh yeah, and bouncing ideas creatively, and like everybody has their own little world going on in their lives. It brings us together somehow.
That's great.
Yeah,
Because a lot of
it's
people,
best. So that it helps me mentally. I like knowing that I'm always living in my head creatively, but I also reach for like friendships and relationships and experiences with, because like I want to be able to still be me and find who I am outside of JR Beatbox. So it was like, yeah, man,
evolution don't stop.
it sure the hell does not. Oh my gosh.
You put out that you have very positive energy, so it's easy. You're always smiling too, and you know what I mean. I'm
Yeah.
sure you radiate good people around you. That's what happens when you radiate that
Yeah,
kind of energy.
sometimes I have a really good poker face. Like,
But you're also in performance. You know what I mean? That's part
Yeah.
of your skill set.
I mean, we go through so many personal challenges every day, and trying to push ourselves through milestones. I've learned to really just smile, enjoy it, and be extremely optimistic on what I do have, and be actually grateful for that, and then to grow from then, and knowing that if things can get worse, cool, at least you have this. So that mindset sticks to you, plus with the relationships you have with the people in your life. So that kind of really molds you into this strong foundation to be other things.
And I think right now, like, you have a gift. Like, you practice this gift, I don't want to say perfect it, because you can always get better, right? Like my boss in upholstery used to say, it's a pursuit of perfection, like Lexus, right? But I'm stoned. I forgot what I was gonna say. Damn it! But
I don't know, but I want to know your like you've done a lot of events and cool things. So I want to know, like, what are your top 3 things that your skill set has got you to be a part of?
I mean, I miss the original Life is Beautiful. I remember I got to keynote speak and be an artist and represent Las Vegas and tell my story, and and tell it through a creative aspect. So I told my story in the first half, and then I tied into a moment in that story that got me into beatboxing, which led into a performance.
Oh, that's cool.
So it was like really cool. Shout out to Tony Shea, rest in peace. He let me use his Airstream to be creative and take MCs from Las Vegas, and do actually that. I don't know if that's even still up on YouTube.
I've seen your videos though.
But there's this one that I'm very proud. I had iconic MCs that are Vegas based. One actually was from Sacramento, and he moved out here and just fell easily in the hip hop scene.
Okay.
And these are lyricists, and I had them do a one shot take through Tony Shea's Airstream with the llamas. And then I was able to beatbox and tell a story, and it'll go in and out of each artist.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I think it's called Downtown Cypher.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, I think I posted Downtown Cypher. I think so. That was one of them, and then I created a moment where I did something. Oh, I remember that dope moment. I'm looking at on these old videos. I'm like, dang.
Bro, you got a lot.
That's it right down there, the very last one.
Oh, right there.
Oh, crazy.
Well, I mean, we talked about it. Let's check it out real quick. So again, this is going to be from the late Tony, who brought a whole new vibe downtown real quick to Fremont East.
He sure did, man. He developed so much of what downtown is, and it was great to be a part of the growing process and be like, I was like, wow. I'm in here with all the great people being creative, and I'm able to be a part of it in my beatbox lane, and then shout out to the moment being able to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning just to get a sunrise shot.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that.
That's what time I'm waking up, going to bed sometimes.
And then I wake up on top of the trailer. I look so young.
There it is, Fremont East.
Then we got Mike Xavier.
I never call it quits. You on the verse, come with the highest bid. You see, I stay about my biz. It's just the way I live. This for my people that be struggling to feed their kids. And all my brothers catching cases with them crazy bids. Cause all these rappers always talk about the same thing. I'm tired of hearing about they women and they damn chains. And half the time they don't even have half of it. Living with they mama, they be balling on a damn budget.
See, America has never been
Trey
racist.
Charles.
Cut to the chase, it's facts. Won't make this belt race, but to overlook genocide, man, that's a slap in the face. From the land of oppression that was built off of hate. I'm talking syphilis experiments, modern day lynchings, there's no end to it. When these white supremacists go in this shit, we must remove ourselves from being niggerish. But we know the whites won't change us cause they privileged.
Southeast native,
Interstate
my mouth
Fast.
is creative. Everywhere I go, I leave a crowd inebriated. Rappers biting styles, stealing lyrics, getting famous. Bring that over here, get your career abbreviated. Everybody pouring and popping, there's no sobriety. Everybody poor, but it's popping. Somebody lying, G. JR Beatbox, INC. We do this for bread and meat. If I don't win, I don't eat.
We all
Then we
paint a
got-
part of the picture, divisions everywhere.
Rest in peace,
We recognize
Rasar.
the danger,
Yeah.
but are you well prepared? This is a point in history that we cannot
not forget. It's 1984 again. They split the opposite, the land
Ooh,
of
got
alternative facts.
goosebumps,
We
bro.
going backwards,
Got
y'all. I see too
goosebumps.
many actors in power. A bad casting call, and they got us mad at all the wrong people. What will it take to see that the global elite are evil?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
Yo, yeah.
Oh, that was hard.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
That is like a long time to be doing that.
Yeah, but honestly, like at this time, it was like pre-recorded and it was like really planned out, so everything was cool. It was fun. Now I've developed a key sense of performing. I want it to be live. I want it to be in your face through your mobile device. And if you look through this next video right there, the Tiny Desk submissions, I created a buddy's studio at the Katana Park. This is the Katana Park in vintage LV store.
Mm-hmm.
And my guy Barney, he make a sugar tone, innovative as well on the guitar and DJing. He let me use his space, and I was like, hey, we got Simone on keys. She just moved out here from New York to be a part of a show, and then literally it was just magic. And I recorded. I set up the whole audio and everything.
Looking fresh.
Done.
That is really cool.
And I think if we had like a MC or a lyricist to kind of fill it
Nice
in,
and jazzy.
like or a vocal singer with like an I don't know, with a soulful voice but telling a story, I think we would have got picked up for NPR live desk. But I was like, I think beatboxing with keys and a guitar was dope enough too.
Yeah.
NPR, take me, yeah. Let's go do a Tiny Desk series.
NPR, come talk to us. They're
Come
a
talk to us.
follower. It's so wild, bro. They followed us, and I was like, so come talk to us.
Yeah,
We might have somebody awesome. You know,
Dog,
that'd
yeah.
be great.
So stuff like this, man. Honestly, like my whole life has been nothing but like trying to utilize the time we have, making sure that I could put into my responsibilities as a father or myself, and then also make that time of being creative and outgoing and adventurous with our art form and doing stuff like this, having moments like this. Like all this is amazing because we love who we are in that element.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it radiates. So when people know your story and they hear more about you, and you're actually great with communication, like and showing that sense of vulnerability, people see it and they feel it. And I think that's been my power with this community, is being able to really have those heartfelt moments and experiences with, and then it carries over and never expires.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why like I've done stuff for Cirque du Soleil, just out of the community, and then it's paying off by them recognizing and showing me some love, and having me at a ceremony. And I think like things like that are just, this is why we live life, to look back and reap all those great moments.
It speaks volumes.
Yeah. You've had plenty of great moments where you were able to really be like, I can't believe I did that shit. Like I did that.
Straight up.
Yeah, and those moments, and I love to repeat those moments, whether it's teaching the kids how to beatbox, or stage presence, or fighting against obesity. If I could help somebody nutritiously and be like, these are the things that I did for myself, and this maybe things can work for you. So you feed that information out to the world in doses. Man, it shows. It, like you said, it shows volume.
I think we've been lucky because there was another artist, is Nate No Face, and through his music, it's synth punk, but he shares his story, whether it was being addicted to a substance, what happened in those situations, sharing his stories, and being vulnerable makes the fans, the people, kind of embrace you more. And sometimes they might not be open with it. Like I told him, like, yeah, I had the same problem for 4 or 5 years. I was a meth head, and then I was letting people down. Found back to weed, and I was like, weed's gotta get me somewhere. And now we get to do this, but it was some type of passion. It goes back to understanding there's something in the plant. CBG helps with dementia, slowing it down. I would have never known that, and I think it's, again, just being true to yourself, following everything, and being open to, like I said, some people might not share it, but they resonate with it.
Yeah.
And that's cool enough, because they might see you and say, hey, appreciate what you said over there. And that's all. You didn't even got to say nothing to me. Give me a little bump. I got it.
That's how it usually works. That's my whole life right now, especially at this moment. It's like my kid is getting ready for high school. I'm checking things off. I'm applying myself every day. Days that I'm exhausted, I still follow through and stay with it, and I don't skip a beat. And then I started seeing the outcome of positivity, like positive feedback and analytics on, like, oh my God, my bank look good. Like, oh God, Tati, like we about to eat good today.
Yeah.
And it feels good, man. I mean,
That's awesome.
It's just like self-control. Like, yeah, I understand how to conserve and be okay with very little. So minimalist, and then just be simple. And then I've balled out, where
When you
like
can, where
when
you
I
can.
like pre-kid, like when I didn't have my kid and I had my first big check being a culinary cook on the strip, I was like, oh, I want 16-inch subs in my Dodge Neon. I had a Dodge Neon. My first car was a Dodge Neon.
Rattling, it sounds like.
I was like, why? It still had a manual. They gave me everything manual. I was so mad because a few months later, Fast and the Furious came out, and they had the Dodge Neon SRT. All them. I was like, if I would have waited, my first car could have been an SRT. But then again, who would I have become? Like,
Who knows?
Who knows?
Could have taken you down a different path.
A car can change that.
It's true.
But yeah,
I
man.
think I might have to agree.
Yo, right?
I mean, one thing I wanted to ask is you can play so much, and now you mix it with the MPC, you're DJing. What's one instrument, if you haven't already, that you've always wanted to play, and when you got to play, you're like, or you still need to play it? What's one thing?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm
Yeah.
envious of my daughter right now
What's up?
because she could play the hell out of a sax.
Ooh.
Yeah, at 14.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
she's part of the jazz band, and this, yeah, I mean, that's amazing. They're going on field trips and battles and like band competitions, and I'm on here like, oh, I forgot how to read music today, and she could read music like crazy, and I could hear her play, and I was like, I wish I could play the sax. I've learned how to just replicate it, like trumpets
There
and
you go.
horns, vocally. So yeah, man, if that's one, that's the sax. I think the sax sells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a showstopper. Like, you could be walking by and you
It's
hear
just
it,
like
you're just
yeah. You feel, you got a girlfriend, you want to serenade her, you like, just play the sax. That's cool, right? You think, what's another instrument that you could just pull up on a loved one?
on a loved one.
What instrument you think is most I don't think nobody wants to get pulled up with drums.
No.
No.
Like,
I-
say,
Banging
baby,
out.
hey,
Guitar.
baby, I done did a drum solo for you. This is my love for you. Nah, it won't hit. Nah, I don't think a woman would be too receptive of that.
No.
Will you
somebody-
knock it off?
How about a
Yeah.
flute? Would you accept the flute?
Flute's okay.
Somebody, if a young man came up to you, was just like,
well, that's different if it's a man. Yeah, I may not like the flute. Sorry, I've learned a few things about Vegas men, so that would make me think. But
like, I was just, I don't know
sax,
why,
yes.
I don't know.
Flute,
Why,
no.
I was just thinking about instruments that would love to, like, you could show your love through playing for your partner or people.
I think a guitar,
a guitar.
saxophone, a
Is
guitar.
this? Will it be bad if I said guitars seem basic right now compared to sax and?
Oh, I don't
Yes,
know
it
now.
would be
Oh.
basic, but
Oh. I
it
don't
would
know.
it would work. But yeah,
Sax are dope, but there's like this Spanish band, Los Tres Haces. There's a couple. Can't think of the other two, but they play the one that's up here fast.
Ooh.
And that one is just fucking bad. There's a kid now from East LA. He starts doing. He did the next episode just in that style, like Spanish style. He did a Nate Dogg's beat. He did Regulators beat, and it comes out clean.
Okay.
So that might be something you're
So
like.
we got guitar,
Uh-huh.
sax, possibly a flute.
Freaky deaky couple.
If your girl pulled up on you and she was like, "Happy Valentine's Day, I made this piece for you," and she just
on a flute,
on the flute, and she just did it.
It might be different if the girl presented it versus the guy. Just my opinion.
Her opinion.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, if a girl popped out of a drum set and we walked into the hotel room or something, there was a club and she just, I was like, I fucking love you.
I love you.
I
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
love
yeah,
you.
yeah.
She fucking threw the drumstick, hit me in the face. Fucking, will you marry me?
That was your hickey.
Yeah, will
go.
you marry me? You're having a baby right now. Let's go.
Dog, yeah.
It's
Okay,
different. Yeah,
cool.
you're right. It is fucking different. Damn. Because if she popped out with the flute, I might be like, I like your
See?
quirkiness.
There we
I like
go.
you more now. That's brown. You.
Pianos, amazing.
Oh yeah, how did we forget that?
Yeah, we did it. We just didn't get to it yet.
Yeah.
Classic.
If something about like our fingers like has to be wide enough to be able to reach keys, and I was really mad because I couldn't do it. I don't think I. They say you gotta have like longer, or you just gotta be super quick with it. That part of our brains to do multiple keys at the same time is astonishing. I was like,
My brain can't even figure it on a drum set 1 and 2.
Two,
and those
1, 2.
ticks. I can't figure it.
I actually I never played an instrument when I beatboxed, so when I hear like drum kits and drum riffs, I learn how to replicate it. Like, and just like hear like the hi hats and the different variants of like. And a little shaker in the beat, like. You know, and then I was just like that.
You know,
But that
make it look so easy.
That percussion is that man. That's love too.
I love that. You know. It just stops and right away. I'm like, what? I'm still
Yeah.
zoned out. Hold on.
Yeah. So drumming is my inspiration. I love like drumming in my head. So I learned how to. Thank God I learned beatboxing because it really helped me how to utilize my vocals. The areas of our mouths to produce sound is like, and you know, so things like that. I was like, and then when I hear instruments do that, I just replicate it. Like drums is still my thing. I drive to this day, and that left foot that's not on the gas or the pedal is tapping, and I just like depending how much I tap it, I'm like, oh, okay. And then I fit in like, yeah, dog.
That's so crazy. I've told people when I've explained to them, like, it's something you have to see live because you can feel the energy and like, I've only explained that with Mike Love and you. I don't know if you know who Mike Love is, but he does reggae music, but I guess in a sense he does some beatboxing in a sense because he makes noises, but he also plays with his feet. So there's just something in the same essence where when you see you live do it, it just blows your mind because you're like, how do you make all those noises?
Yeah.
I mean, but like how you explain it, you've listened and you can replicate it, but you make it seem easy, but it's
Yeah,
not.
and that actually goes. You have a great segue to that. Of you have to be there to really experience it. I do the best I can to show it through my content. So you could kind of get the sense, but there's never.
It's different. You
It's
feel
so
it
different.
in your skin.
So that's why I love when I come out. I'm like full force, one whole person rocking a mic, and people hear it and they feel it.
Yeah.
Especially lately I've been getting some really great compliments about my techniques. For some reason, with being very fit, and I'm like really good with my lung capacity, and my sound effects has gotten stronger. Because my sound effects has gotten stronger, I sound newer, like advanced. You know, like a 2.0.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a great compliment.
Or like, you know, like the Apple system, you know, like you have to like keep upgrading, and all these damn updates is like, you're like, shit, not again. But in this case, you embrace it.
Mm-hmm. You want to
Because,
download it.
Like you want to download it. You want to go back on stage and go, and it just sounds beefier. And yeah, you're like, okay, this dude's been putting in work. But really, I just been putting work in me.
Is there ever times, let's say you're on stage and for some reason you're like, hold on, I want to try something out for you, and you do it, or is everything kind of already pre-planned? Like, do you freestyle at any point
I
on stage?
freestyle all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, there's like there's a grand entry. Like I have things categorized in my brain. There's like a grand entrance, and then there's freestyle, and then you have signature pieces. So when I perform or I ever get put on the spot, I always know to go like, you know, like just those little sound effects, like, ladies and gentlemen, and then just like do a whole bunch of stuff, and then get into a, and then get into a, and then you do the words and the beat, and that goes into like a, and then as I gotten older in my career, people helped me understand time on stage. So it's okay to go like, and then let them soak it in, applaud, and it's just, yeah.
And then hit them.
And just hit them again with another routine and freestyle some more. And sometimes you're like a DJ where you read the crowd and you're like, you know what? I think I think they can handle a crowd participation. So you have the whole left side of the room clap their hands like, and then over here is just like they have their feet on the left side stomping, just like, boom, 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 boom. Like, all right, cool. So I go, you know, or like, I was like, okay. So cool. And then I control it, and I was like, all right, I think I want to do this tribute. So I'm going to go, and I'm going to have this right side go. So, all right, cool. You know, and just like, and then it goes back, or if I want to mix it, I could mix it into the Justin Timberlake, like at the White Stripe. It's just a lot, man. So creativity, these set lists, life is, and working with all these amazing artists here in Vegas and collaborating with nothing but the greatest talent, like right here in our city.
Yeah.
So because of those moments, I've learned so much.
I laugh when you do it because it's just like I see it for the first time every time, and it's just like I'm so lucky. I just smoke weed. I get to see awesomeness like all the time. I'm just grateful, right? And then just I don't know any other reaction but just laugh and close my eyes because I'm like, that's so dope.
Yeah.
It's talent.
And shout out to the cannabis community. Like this man G, you helped me so much with like different remedies and what products. Dog, thank you for your knowledge in the game.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for all the hookups and supplies. Do you know how many times this woman has some heavy hitting, like you have some heavy hitters on you. What was the butterfly one? There's I forgot there was a certain strand that came out at like moments.
Oh,
the
Fire Angel. That was a CBD THC,
Yeah,
but it was
yeah.
like, oh shoot, how can I forget now? 13-1 or something, so more CBD. That is the most amazing strain by Fleur. I think they still have it. Yeah, that's an amazing strain.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing the little moments too, because those things made my body and my mind feel so good.
Yeah, no, of course.
That feels good.
Oh, thanks for trusting us, man. You
yeah.
know? I mean, it's been fun.
If you're gonna do anything, do it with the best.
Yeah, you know, we were talking a little bit before the cameras came on, but we were talking about during COVID and when there was a couple of those rebel places that would open up, there was Live Rabbit.
Oh, Rose Rabbit Live.
Yes, so we went there
Rose
because
Rabbit Live.
JR was performing. It was like a variety show, and we had dinner. But you want to tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, I got picked up on that show for about 2 years, and it was like a dining experience with entertainment.
Yeah.
So it was a really nice, intimate space. They had multiple platforms around the restaurant, and then there was a variety of talent that would put on these sync shows throughout every experience through your dining stay. I was the beatboxer that tap danced, that did a collaborative set with a tap dancer. Shout out to Kenji, my guy. Then I did something with a couple of choreographers where I'm beatboxing and they're dancing and doing stuff with my sound effects and my set. And then there was a live band with the bass and drums, keys right there in your face while you're eating dinner. And we used that whole space. It was a great live entertainment experience.
That was great. I mean, that was at a time where there was nothing to do. So to go have that dinner, which I said the dinner wasn't great, but the entertainment was amazing. So that was a really cool thing to see you doing. But so that brings us to kind of some of the things you're doing. So that's where we saw something really cool. But what's the next cool thing you got stored away?
Yeah, I mean, sheesh. This thing with the gaming arena is really going to be fun. I think it's exciting. I picked up the element of really produced hosting. Like, think of Steve Harvey on Family Feud.
Mm-hmm.
That type of, like, you are the front face, gearing the ship into a gaming tournament with heavy hitter NFL players and music producers like DJ Mustard and all these different crazy influencers, and you're like, okay, all right, I'm right here, right? Okay, I'm ready for this.
Oh man!
And so I'm excited for it. I'm nervous and excited because these are new chapters, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, I signed up for this.
And that's the sneak showcase.
Yeah, it's a sneak showcase.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be a nice little showdown. I can't wait for that. Cirque du Soleil. I'm taking my mom to dinner tomorrow night.
Awesome.
Cirque du Soleil has this thing called this foundation called Walk for Water.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they help provide third world countries with access to water.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So that foundation is under Cirque du Soleil, and they have me host like their annual walk every year. 5-6 years ago for 2 years, and then just recently this past year, and it hit really well. Like, it keeps growing and growing and growing. The cause is helping. So tomorrow.
Wow.
Can't wait. I get to get dapper. We love feeling dapper, right?
It's
My
true.
mom's have a beautiful blue dress. I have the button up looking like a Puerto Rican Dominican Dwayne Johnson.
There you go. This man.
You
Watch
know?
out, Rock. What you
Yeah.
got?
So I'm trying to get on my rock status.
There you go.
I don't know, something in the water that he drinks. I don't know.
It's a little too much.
A little too much. A little too much. I'm like organic.
You're right.
There you
That's
go.
what
That's
we meant.
the
We
key.
like organic.
No,
Keyword.
Organic. Yeah.
Well, and every time I see your dress sharp, dressed to the nines, where do you get your fashion sense, you think?
Simplest. I'm simple.
Ah.
You don't see this simple outfit?
Okay.
Yeah, this is like a black, just regular pants, nice shirt, no big label, but I do love my sneakers. Yeah,
It's
I do.
important.
I do love my kicks. But my mom, she helped me out, like mold me into like the man that needs to represent for all like grown good men or Latin men, and like you gotta like look good, you gotta smell good, you gotta, so yeah.
Right on.
Shout out to moms for that.
Big one, yeah. Good job, Mom.
Yeah, for real. Getting on my
If
ass.
you hear this.
I tried sagging one time when I was a kid. I almost got my ass whooped. Yeah, we all went through those phases where we thought we could wear whatever we want.
Yeah.
I go through that with my daughter all the time. Luckily, my daughter don't like anything tight. She likes the, what's it called? The boyfriend pants.
Yeah, the boyfriend the
jeans.
boyfriend style. Yeah.
Style,
Baggy.
like
It's coming back.
every kid in summer, 102 degrees with a sweater on.
I can't figure that one out.
Because I can help you.
Okay.
I can really help you. So apparently the schools are freezing cold.
Oh, well, that makes sense
The
because that's like
classroom-
going into a casino or something in the middle of the summer.
Yeah. So it's so cold, but you know why they keep like schools cold?
Uh-oh.
Because of germs.
Oh yeah.
You know how they
It's
do
like a
the same?
doctor's office.
Yeah, it's just like like the hospital.
Hospital, yeah.
Hospitals don't be freezing. So yeah, my daughter always wears a sweater.
Oh, I didn't
That
know
makes-
that.
So
Yeah,
these
that
kids
makes-
always wears a sweater.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense for me. I
Yeah.
learned that last year. Yeah, man, that's crazy.
That's crazy. I couldn't think of that myself. Because I always think that when people are like, oh, like something about wearing long sleeves. I'm like, I wear long sleeves half the summer because I'm indoors, usually
Yeah.
somewhere that is cold.
Yeah.
If I'm outside, that's a different story. But
No, speaking of outside, it's starting to get hot, man. Someone's gonna hit 80, 90 degrees next week.
Before
Oh,
you
I'm
know
ready.
it, yeah, already.
You see that right there? That's gonna be Vegas. That's crazy.
That's when the people come out is the craziest part. But
I know, man.
my man, we've been doing our thing for a little while tonight. Gonna have to let you go, you know. Zim it up, sip it up. But real quick, I mean, you shared what you got going, but where can the people see you? And you said you got content out. You got the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
People saw.
I think I'm in a chapter in my life where I just stay tuned in. At least just follow JR Beatbox. And when I create, I put it out. If I have something for the community, I'll let it be known so we can share it, come out, support. Yeah, honestly, I live day by day.
That's
I
good.
have these
That's the
dope
way.
little moments, but that's what I'm working towards and have been and been doing.
we see the progression, so it's definitely
Yeah.
working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad I'm on this ride with you and get to see it when I
Same
can.
here
you know.
with this
It's
great
fun.
segment, man. Thank you for having me on here.
Thank you. Amber, anything you want to say?
No, it was great having you here. We really appreciate it, and yeah, can't wait to see you at Sneaks.
Let's go, Sneaks.
Puffs and cheers, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. JR Beatbox again. Thank you for holding down the city. And you know I have to do it for you one time. I gotta ask.
What
You know,
happened?
can you do a little sign out for us? A little magic?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm saying. All right, let's how do you want me to say the title of the podcast?
Oh, just like it is, my brother. Talking and token.
All right. You are now locked in with Talking and Token.
Thank you. All right, guys. Until the next one, puff it easy. We'll talk to you. Peace.
That's awesome.